Hello, good morning. Bit of a damp one here in Gloucestershire. It's a bit grey and dreary. I'm going to check I'm live in the right place. I am early today. I'm half an hour early. I thought I would maybe change the timings so that I start at 9:30. Let's get in the middle. No particular reason. Just means that quite often I'm trying to do stuff before I go live, and I'm kind of hanging around from 9:30. Don't want to start any other projects, or because I'm preparing to go live. So I thought if I start 9:30, I know some of you catch me from across the other side of the world and you are heading into bed, so I thought half an hour early might work quite well, but we will see how it goes. So if you are joining, please do say hello. Today I am going to be playing with a couple of kind of cute sets, the Rainbow of Happiness and the Friends of the Forest stamp set, which I love both of those. And I have noticed, although I don't have my paper copy of the new annual catalogue, I've noticed neither of them are in there, which makes me really sad because I love both of them. And it's always a really difficult time of the year when we get to an end of a catalogue. We wave goodbye to some in colours, we wave goodbye to lots of lovely products that we use on a regular basis, but we have to bear in mind that there's always lots of gorgeous new things that are coming our way. So yeah, I am waiting for my paper copy. I always prefer that to the PDF. So we were able to view the PDF from, I think it was Wednesday last week, online. But I like the smell of a new publication, and I just love flicking through. I find it so much easier than flicking through online. Okay, so there's a couple of you on, not seeing any comments yet. Check my view. Just bear with me. That doesn't help me. So if you are joining me, please do say hello. Hope you are keeping well. And I think without further ado, I'm going to set you down. Good morning, Belle. How are you doing? I haven't caught up on anything yet. We had the girls, well, I say we. I had the girls yesterday afternoon, picked them up at lunchtime and then brought them back here, and then they didn't go till 7 last night. So I wasn't able to catch up with your live, but I will be doing that later. So hope you are keeping well. Hope your eczema is calming down a little bit. Let's set you down on my desk, move everything out of the way. Squeeze the palm of the hand, and I have to remember to move everything around. It's always such a long delay of seeing the palm of my hand, so I apologise for that. Yeah, it's so grey here. There's rain on the Velux windows. It's like a bit of a drizzle out there. It's not a heavy rain, but it's just grey, it's damp, it's chilly. We've gone from, what were we yesterday? It did turn out quite nice when the sun came out. It was about 17 degrees, I think. But I think it's going to max out about 10 today. But it's going really cold at night. I think we're due really heavy rain tomorrow. Then Thursday, it's going to go to -2 Thursday night, which isn't fun when we're running low on pellets. Right, I'm waiting for catch up, see whether I can zoom in. Was it frozen? Nope, hasn't frozen. The view is different. Let's zoom a bit more if we can. Doesn't want to zoom. There we go, a bit more. And then I'll get that grid paper taped down. Yeah, so miserable weather. I mean, damp weather's always good for crafting because it gives you that excuse that you have to stay in. Although the garden is so dry at the moment, I could do with it, a bit of dampness to it for digging and weeding and stuff. Let's get the light on. It's pretty bright in here, it's just dull out there. Okay, so today I thought I would pull out these two stamp sets. Hello, Mary, how are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. It's lovely to have you. I'm a little bit earlier today. I'm half an hour earlier. Thought I would come on a bit earlier, and maybe I will do this time every week, because I was just saying earlier that I'm kind of hanging around for 10 o'clock to come, and not wanting to start any other projects. So I'm probably better off to start at this time. So yeah, wanted to use 2 cuties today, both of which I noticed, I could be wrong, but I flicked through the PDF of the new catalogue coming in May. In May? Yes, May. And I can't see either of these in there. And I love the rainbows, love them. So I thought I'd have a little play and do some cue cards with these. I also wanted to pull in these dies, which are leaving us. Yes, Mary, we've put our clocks forward. So that was Saturday night. It kind of happens midnight, I think. So we spring forward. So we lost an hour's sleep. And do you know what? I think that hour makes such a massive difference. Not that we're not kind of late to bed people, but I do feel that losing that hour does make a bit of a difference. I feel like we're on catch up. Or could that be where some random person rang me at midnight on Saturday night? And it was just a random phone call from a stranger asking who I was at 12 o'clock. And then they let me fall back to sleep and then rang again. So annoying. So anyway, tasteful labels are leaving us. How sad is that? Let's just have a look, see if I can get any comments up. Good morning, Lucianne. Are you off to work again? Well, I hope you have a good day. Yeah, love these dies. They're just such a great set to have. They're not reduced, but I did check this morning. They are still available. So highly recommend this set of dies if you don't have them. And then, of course, we've got the brilliant rainbow dies, which are super cute and obviously go with the Rainbow of Happiness stamp set. So if you purchase those with the stamps, you can save yourself 10%. I love this scallopy border and the clouds. I adore the clouds. Let's put those behind me ready to create with. Move the chair out of the way. So how are we all doing? How are we? I hope we're all doing okay. Right, let's get rolling. So I've mounted up some stamps ready. Cut some kits. And I thought I will continue to use just jade because I want to use it as much as I can before it disappears and doesn't make it through to the next catalogue. I have not checked fully online whether there's still cardstock available for any of the in colours or inks or refills or even the pattern DSP, which I'm going to be using some of this morning. You can see I've still got a lot left of all the colours, but such a great set. And these are reduced as well. I think they're down to about £6, the in colour packs and the colour families as well. Although I haven't checked on the in colour, but I'm sure the colour families are down to about £6. So we've got quite a lot of basic white going on today. Got some strips for die cutting and stamping. We've got a bit of pool party and just jade. Belle, you're waiting for your copy of the catalogue. I know, I'm feeling like it should be here already. I'm stalking, because I'm also waiting for, as a Stampin' Up demonstrator, we have an event on Saturday. And it's actually over a few days, but I'm attending the online version on Saturday. And I'm waiting for something to arrive for that as well. So, and I've not had any shipping notification to say that it's on its way. I had an order arrive yesterday. So if you've ordered from me recently, I've most probably got it here now. But yeah, I just like that paper copy. I just feel that I can't plan anything until I've got that in front of me. So yeah, Mary, you agree. There's nothing like having the paper version, is there? I mean, it's good that we get to see it online, but you cannot beat having that paper copy. Talking of paper copies, anybody who is local who hasn't got the current annual catalogue, it is ending very soon. But I have quite a few copies here. So if you're local and you would like one and I'm on your delivery route, I'd be happy to drop one through your door. And I've got a couple of mini catalogues left as well, even if you just want it for inspiration, because they're great for ideas. So just drop me a message if you would like one. Okay, so card base as usual, 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, and just folded in half. I'm going to put that to one side. I've got a next layer, so my first layer going down is going to be 3 1/2 by 5 1/8, so slightly smaller than I would generally use. But that's going to layer over on here, so we've got a lot of kind of white space going on. Nothing new there for me. Now, I pulled in, when I designed my cards, I pulled in the checks and dots embossing folders, but I do believe they have sold out. I did a quick look for them this morning on the last chance list and couldn't see them. So please, if you want these, double check if they're still there, because I may have missed them. But so today I thought I would pull in, because it's no good me showing you something that you can't get. I'd pull in the lovely stripes and splatters, and these are the much thicker embossing folders. I think they're called the 3D, so they're a lot thicker actually than the checks and dots. They use different layers. I'm guessing you can see that. So I thought I'd use one of those instead. Let's put those by my machine. And then I want to do a little bit of die cutting, not too much die cutting, I don't think. I'm going to use this lovely frame. As I've said, these dies are so usable. And then from the Brilliant Rainbow, I want this border. I want some clouds. And, oh, the rainbow itself, which is super cute. Let's pull in some plates and find some scraps. Now I'm doing a rainbow in a multitude of colours. I say multitude, just one of each colour. So I've got some scrap here of just jade. Let's just cut a piece to the size that I need and save that bit for later. And don't look, I'm giving it a little gentle bend. It's bending where my plates are bendy as well. I want to cut this one. See if we can get all of this done in one go. I want this border. Let's get a bit of tape. Because when I lift it over, it is bound to move. Lucy Ann, you're waiting for your copy as well. I know, we're all like eager to receive it, aren't we? I'm kind of like stalking. I'm just looking for a scrap as well. Stalking the letterbox outside. Because if I don't leave the house, I don't always check. I don't go out of the gate every day. Or I do, but then forget to look in the box. I come in, I'm like, oh, I didn't look in the box. So I'm always stalking at the moment for that catalogue. I just cannot wait. Okay, I think I've got everything I need. Let's put this top plate on and hope that nothing moves. Those clouds are trying to move. I'll give it a squeeze so that nothing moves as I turn around. So remember, if you haven't got a die cutting machine, we've got the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss that is on offer at the moment. These are stuck in there, I have to push those out. So I think some of the items on the savings are in bloom have actually sold out because they're on the last chance list. So you'll need to double check that. But until the end of the month, which is Thursday is the last day of the month, I believe. The mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine has 20% off, which is super great value. Right, let's pop these dies away. Because you know I like to put things back as soon as I've used them. So, you know, last week I was chatting, oh, it wasn't you actually. It was on my VIP group. I was going through and showing some of my retired dies that were leaving. And I noticed that I had a die missing and I haven't found it off of one of my sets. So, yeah, I was a bit sad about that. And that is why it's important to put things back as soon as you've used them. And I love the magnet sheets. I get loads of comments about these magnet sheets. They're super handy and it does help things like not getting lost. Okay, so we've got, let's have a little drink. Definite frog in my throat again at the moment. I feel like that's a permanent thing that I say to you every Tuesday. I've got a frog in my throat. And I think it's just being around the little ones. They're always sniffing. Right, let us pull back in. I think I'm going to use the stripes and splatters. And I'm just going to emboss this one. And in fact, I would like it to be, can't get hold of it, reasonably straight if I can. And then for this we need to remove plate 2 and 3. And this goes directly, because it's a 3D fold, it goes directly on here on platform 1 with the grey number 4 plate. Hello Sarah, my lovely, how are you doing? You'd need to get back into crafting and you miss playing with your stamps and inks. Oh, well, that's good to hear. Well, get in touch. Do get in touch. It'd be lovely to see you. After bumping into you recently, it'd be lovely to have you at a class. Or, of course, you know there's always that great opportunity of that starter kit to get you back in the loop. How are you doing anyway? How are you keeping? So we're in retiring month at the minute, Sarah. So we're coming to the end of, how lovely is that? Coming to the end of yet another annual catalogue, which is quite scary because time is flying by. Okay, so I think I've got all my die cut pieces. Let's do a little bit of stamping. I need to pull in my mat because the Friends of the Forest and the Rainbow of Happiness are both photopolymer, and Stampin' Up suggest we use a mat. Oh, it's long time no speak, isn't it, Sarah, for you and the team? Be lovely to have you back. The girls are all growing up, aren't they? All growing up. Right, so great thing about being part of Stampin' Up is that you make kind of lifelong friends, isn't it? Right, I think I need to pull out. I always want to call this little guy a raccoon. And then Jason told me he was a fox. And I did kind of say, well, it does depend what colour you ink him up in. Because I have done, today's going to be kind of a raccoon or a brown fox, if there ever was a brown fox. Right, it's a rather big piece of scrap. Have I got anything? I think, no, just use it. Use it because I need to do other stuff on here. So I've pulled out 2 different inks today, just soft suede and my Memento. And I'm going to be using some blends as well. Just check your comments. So let us ink up this little sweetie and the fox that isn't a fox. And I will have to just set them both to one side. I was going to do a couple, but I've already got some I've inked up. And then this cute little bunny. And in this set as well, we've got this cute little tree stump. So we'll have one of those. How cute is that? Don't you just love how crisp our stamps stamp out? It does help because I'm using Stampin' Up's white cardstock. This is our basic white and it is very smooth. It's kind of like non-porous, it's very smooth and it works perfectly with our inks. So you always get a really good, crisp, clean image. I think that's all the stamping I need of my animals. I do need a greeting. So from the set, I've pulled out happiness is being with you, because I just think that's quite a sweet general greeting that could cover kind of lots of bases. So I'm going to ink it with my soft suede. And I'm going to start first. Can you see what I'm doing? Start first just with the word happiness, and I'm hovering it so that the is being with you missed the bottom of my cardstock. Can you see it's ended up on my grid paper, but I've just got the happiness. So we'll trim that one out. Feeling very sniffy today. And then next I want the just is being with you. Can I do that without getting my hair in the camera? Did I get any overhang? That will do just nicely. I can move that one out of the way. Move these inks, and then I've pulled in some of my good old faithful blends. Just Jade, Crumb Cake, light and dark, and then I've got Misty Moonlight Light. I think this does look quite dark, but it is light. Yeah, Misty Moonlight, and then Petal Pink, which I'm just going to use on my rabbit. I'm going to grab a seat. Hello, Kay. How are you doing? Thank you for stopping by. I came on a bit earlier this morning. I was saying I might make that a regular thing. So you all know I like to use my bullet point. Now, on some of the colouring I'm doing on my second card, I will be using the brush tip just because there are fine things that I need to colour in. But on this bunny, literally, I'm just adding a bit of colour to the tail, the ears, and then I'm just going to do a little dot for the cheeks. Let's come in a little bit if we can. Might regret this very much. It always makes me nervous doing the zoom because for some reason, even though I'm not pressing the flip reverse camera, sometimes it shows my ceiling. Right, let's bring in the crumbs. So I'm going to start with the pale. Actually, what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to use one that I did earlier, just because I really like to let these images dry out properly before I start colouring. Otherwise you do get a bit of a bleed if you're going over where you've got lots of like inked pieces. You do get a bit of a bleed. Right, so that's my dark. I'm going to take my light. Check I'm in shot. Hopefully my hand won't be in the way. And just colour in. I'm not doing any specific special blending. And the ink kind of seeps into the cardstock. So if you're not exactly filling in a portion of what you're colouring, it kind of sort of bleeds out a bit. So good morning, Ellie. How are you, my lovely? You missed my early start. I know I kind of threw it in there this morning. Just decided this morning I'm going to go live earlier. So, and then for the body, Just start at the tail. I'm going to leave the end of the tail white. So this is Crumb Cake Light. And I'm just filling in really, really quickly. And then with the dark, I'm just going to fill in the ears. And then this section, this is where you could get a bit of bleed, where you've got lots of ink already, where you've got bits of stamped. And then I just do like a really faint line under the chin and kind of pull it in like that, and then just kind of let that settle, and then just a couple of dots on the tail and kind of just blend that in as well. So I dotted with the dark, and then I'm pulling the colour in together with the light. I'm just going to add a bit under the tummy area as well. And when that dries, it will look slightly different. I did go a little bit far over there, but never mind. Then what else do I need? Oh, one of these that I did earlier as well, the tree stump with the dark. Have I put the right lids back on? Yeah, I'm always putting the wrong lids back on. Oh, Alfie dog, that was a big sigh from under the table. So just colour this in. Who doesn't love colouring? Absolutely love a bit of colouring. You're doing well. Okay, that is good to know. What are you up to today, Ellie? Is it guinea pig cleaning day? So that's our colouring in. Don't think I need to do any more. Not for a moment. Put those out of the way and try and see. I need to zoom you in a bit now. Zoom you out. There we go. Otherwise you're way too close. Need to come in a little bit though. That's it. Right, we'll just start by trimming around these little creatures, which is pretty quick, doesn't take long. Leaving, remember, that little white gap, which just helps you to cut out. I find it so much easier leaving a gap. So what did we all do at the weekend? We had some good weather, didn't we? We were lucky. What did I get up to? I usually fill you in. Saturday, I worked in the morning. How cute. I worked in the morning on Saturday, and then Sophie was at a craft market Saturday afternoon over at Charlton Kings in Cheltenham. So I went over and kept her company for a bit. Did a little bit of shopping there. The local handmade products. And Saturday night, Jason and I had a barbecue. So we cooked some fish. Our neighbour, he went away on a fishing trip and brought back some cod. And I'd frozen it, so I got it out and we cooked it on the barbecue, and it was delicious. Just pure white cod. It was very good. I marinated it before cooking it. Always never sure how long to cook fish on the barbecue. I'm a bit of a fussy person. Well, laugh out loud. I'm a bit of a fussy person in general, if you hadn't noticed. But when I'm cooking meat and things, not that, I mean, I don't cook on the barbecue. That is Jason's job. Jay is definitely the cook when it comes to barbecuing. But in general, I always overcook meat because I'm always cautious that it's going to make us ill. I've got a really delicate stomach. I mean, Jay's is like cast iron, I think, but mine is very delicate. So obviously chicken, we have to be really careful. But I'm always like, because I don't buy anything processed. We don't have ready meals here. I cook everything from scratch, mainly because of, you know, my stomach issues and my reactions with garlic. So I cook everything from scratch. But like when I do burgers and things, I'm always overcooking. Always. Is anyone else like me? You kind of like cremate things, which isn't good, is it? Because it takes out the flavour. Right, let's start building up this card and then we can start adding our rainbow. So to start with, I'm going to have a couple of layers on here. It's going to be quite layered up. Just checking. So this basic white layer is going to go down on dimensionals. Oops, pull the lid off. Straight onto our base layer. Got away. So what did you guys get up to? That was Sunday. We didn't do a lot else then. Do I have a fructose intolerance? Well, I don't think it's fructose. It's saying my video has ended, but I think it's just here because I'm still live. Let me just refresh my page. A long time ago, I used to suffer with real tummy issues. And I went in to see the doctors. Long story short, I went to see the doctors and he put me on this food plan called a low FODMAP diet. And, oh my goodness, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons here. And basically, long story short, I'm on catch up now. This diet was like I couldn't eat anything. It was like gluten-free, dairy-free, lactose-free. And I stuck it for a month, which is what the GP told me to do. And it did make a difference, definitely made a difference. But then I went back to him and he told me hello, Kim, how are you doing, my lovely? Thank you for joining us. I'm a little bit early this morning. I'm thinking of starting at 9:30 now, a new time, but I will advertise that if I decide. So yeah, he put me on this diet and I went on it for a month and I didn't have any issues. I cut out all this food and then I went back and he told me to start reintroducing foods again, but didn't give me any indication of how to do that, and I didn't know how to do that. So I booked privately to see a nutritionist and she told me, so I'm just going to let me give you the measurements of this. So the Just Jade layer is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. So my nutritionist was brilliant and she told me how to reintroduce foods back into my diet, you know, by eating mushrooms again. If I didn't get a reaction, eat them again the next day, and if I'd got no more reactions, then I could continue eating them as normal. So I did that. She told me basically never to eat garlic again because that probably was the root cause of the issues. And really, since I've cooked, you know, from scratch, I've realised that it probably is garlic. I love garlic, absolutely love it. I've got glue all on my grid now. Absolutely love garlic, but it just doesn't agree with me. So, but after cutting out all of I'm just removing this glue I put on here. Cutting out the gluten and the lactose and everything, I think really the core of it is garlic because I rarely get a problem or an issue. So I've just added that lovely rainbow border to the bottom. So I forget even where that came from. Why did I get into that topic? See, look, is that my menopause brain? Or is it just age? Luciana getting over laryngitis. Oh, bless you. There seems to be lots. I know obviously COVID is doing the rounds again quite rapidly at the moment, but there's other things going as well. Changes in the weather, isn't it? Just scrolling, sorry. Had to refresh my page. Yeah, I do need a meat probe, Belle. You are very right with that, because that's what we were talking about, wasn't it? When I cook, when I make, because I do buy ready-made burgers, but most of the time they are loaded with onion, and onion is something else that I can't really tolerate a lot of. Red onion is not so bad, but white onion is a bit of a no-no. So I buy my minced beef, and then I make my own burgers and put in them what I like. Put my own kind of seasonings in. And yeah, I kind of like cook them and then they're dry, because I'm just worried that they're not going to be cooked. So I'm just layering up with the Just Jade and the border, and trying to check if it's straight or not. It's looking a bit low that side, but it's down now, so it's not going anywhere. Got a little strip of Pool Party cardstock, and I'm going to lay that behind my label from the Tasteful Labels. So if I pop this one down first, and this just measures, it's not an actual, oh, it is almost 3/4. I probably pulled this from my scrap, and it's just slightly short of the Just Jade, so it's 3 5/8. So let's just pop that straight down. So yeah, a meat probe is definitely something I could do with. I'm not a huge meat fan, to be honest. Chicken, I do like chicken. Poor Jason, he doesn't get to eat joints of beef and things like that here, because I just don't cook it. Poor man. And then on the back of this label, I will pop some mini dimensionals. So we're already on 2 layers, okay? Bear that in mind. And then we'll just pop this one down over the top. Like that. So we're just, can you see, look, we're already at full height capacity. Ellie, you went to your uncle's surprise 90th birthday party in Warwick. How exciting. I hope you had fun, and you're guinea cleaning, so you can spend some time in the cabin later before the children finish school. Perfect. Sounds like a good day. Oh my glasses cannot be very clean. I'm struggling to read. I'm trying to read the comments on my Mac. My month on FODMAP is your normal life. My goodness, Mary. I found it so hard. I did get used to it. But I do, you know, in those days, because I'm trying to think how long ago it was. It's probably, we've been here 4.5 years. It's probably 6-7 years ago. And gluten-free bread then was, oh, it was like eating cardboard. But I did learn to kind of make my own bread and things like that. So it kind of educated me, really. Right, let's start with a rainbow. Let's put all these pieces to one side. I want to pop a rainbow on here. Now, I've already die cut. So from the die set here, you've got this lovely rainbow die, and it cuts out 4 parts of the rainbow. But obviously, you cut one colour at a time. So ahead of time, I've cut some other colours here. So let's pull out what we need. We'll start with a Pool Party. And then we've got Misty Moonlight, which is another retiring in colour, which is so, so sad. Got Soft Suede, then the next size down. So how long have you been on that kind of diet, Mary, food diet? I know we do get used to these things, but I found it challenging if we went out for dinner, because, you know, there's just nothing. And I know now restaurants have got really good, they're on the ball with allergies, aren't they? But I quite often don't. I just ask if anything has got garlic in before before I order, and you kind of get to know what you're safe to eat and what you aren't safe to eat. So sadly, garlic is in most food that we eat, isn't it? That's why our food tastes so good. But it's fine. Right, I'm just inking up this rainbow. Now this is where inking up, gluing up, I tend to get Tombow all over me. So just laying them down. I haven't put much glue on, but it's enough to hold it. So each layer, oops, they are a bit fiddly. Don't know what I've got, that's adhesive I've got on me. Soft suede. So I have this little colour palette sat on my desk next to me. I'm going to grab it. Oh. That I've been wanting to play with, and this was where the inspiration started for today, because we've got these lovely doilies that are retiring. So I've got basic grey, soft suede, misty moonlight, night of navy, and just jade, and I just loved how they all go together. And as I said, this is kind of where I started with this today. Get down, you. So yeah, you know, food is a big part of our lives, isn't it? And having, you know, a tummy that doesn't like foods is not fun. It just makes life very awkward. And it is kind of, it's learning to get along with it, isn't it? Just moved my grid then. You've been on it for about 10 to 12 years and you rarely eat out because it's too hard. Yeah, I feel your pain, my lovely. It is tricky. Even now, I find it hard eating out, trying to choose something that doesn't have garlic in it. And what I do for Jason when I'm cooking is I have garlic granules and garlic salt, and then I just sprinkle it into his portion so that he doesn't go without. But yeah, it's learning to live with it, isn't it? I think the one thing I miss the most is cheesy garlic bread. It's the one thing that I miss. So I'm going to take the little tree stump and pop it over here. And then our little, we'll call him a raccoon or a brown fox. Is there such a thing as a brown fox? I don't know. Now, don't look, but I am adding a third layer of dimensionals to this card. And it's going to be a special person that gets this because it's going to cost a fortune to post it. But who cares? If it costs 50 pence more, that's nothing, is it? Mind you, we do have to watch the pennies now with everything increasing, but... Oh, I didn't need any on my bunny. Do I need any on that one? I'm going to quickly trim out another. I want this one flat, otherwise we're going to have more and more layers. Just quickly cut this one out. The birds are singing away. I did Google, do you remember I was talking about that specific bird? And I Googled it because we had the landscaper around. He's going to come and build us a pergola. And he said it might be a blackbird, but when I listened to a blackbird, it definitely wasn't that. So that was a random bit of useless information, but I could just hear the birds and it's lovely. Right, let's pop this little bunny up on top here, sitting on the tree stump, and we'll save that other one for after. Now I'm gonna really fussy cut this little piece out. Is it pouring with rain there, Kim? Oh, good weather for watching and getting inspired. That's good to hear. Well, thank you for joining me. I know the weather plays a big part, doesn't it? For one, I think it definitely plays a part on how I'm feeling. When it's grey and dreary, it kind of makes you feel a little bit like that. When you can't get out well, you can get out, but it's just an effort, isn't it? If you're going out anywhere, you're getting drenched. Right, this one here, look how skinny this one is. I'm going to need to use the edge. I mean, at the end of the day, the garden always needs, just pull those two off, always needs the rain, and we haven't had any for a bit. My veg garden is very dry. Oop, stuck to me. And then we'll just pop that one down there. Happiness is being with you. And then to finish, oh, my MacBook has gone to sleep. We'll have yet more dimensionals. Oh, that was a bit close to the edge. On the clouds. Pop one over here. See if we can squeeze one up there. And there we go. So really cute card. This is design that I have used before. I did this with the driving by, so I just used the same layout. Just scrolling. Kimmy think it's cute. Thank you. It is cute, isn't it? Like doing cute cards. So easy just to do floral cards all the time. I thought, you know, these would suit some young people, or even just, you know, they would suit masculine as well. So super, super cute. So sad that I cannot see these in the new annual catalogue. I've looked back and forth to make sure that I am not correct. Now, the one thing to bear in mind is these are both from the current mini catalogue. They could well go on a carryover list to the next catalogue, so bear that in mind. It doesn't mean that they could be going forever until we get the retired list of the mini catalogue, because that's around until June. We won't know for sure what's happening with them, but if you like them, I would just recommend that you get them. Belle, you like the colours? Thank you. Yeah, I've been like trying to hang on to Just Jade for as long as I can and get some use out of it before I have to wave goodbye to it. So sad, isn't it, when we lose these colours? And I'm wondering, I know some of you are demonstrators on here. I've not shared any of the new in colours yet. I will be doing soon, but they are quite bright and I just want to see them in person until I really make up my mind. But a couple look really good, but there's a couple that are really bright. So we shall see. Like I said, I want to see them in person. Right, another basic white layer. And then we've got a large piece of Just Jade. That's measuring 3.5 by 5.5. And then a piece of Pool Party. Love these two together. Don't they complement each other beautifully? And then we've got 3.25 by 4.5. Yeah, Mary, you agree. You've seen them. You think they're a bit bright for me. We shall see. You know, I have ventured out with a bit of polished pink, so it's going to be more challenges coming my way, isn't it? We shall see. Okay, I'm going to put these to one side. I've got a scrap of white here I'm going to do some die cutting on. I've cut a strip from the in colour papers. So these, I mean, yeah, look at Polish Pink. How bright is that? Is that Polish Pink? Magenta Madness. Magenta Madness. Now my brain has gone. Magenta Madness. Yeah. But Polish Pink is kind of along the same lines. But yeah, there's no bright pinks. Kind of blues and greens. So I've cut a strip there at 3 inches because it works with my project, but also it means I've got another piece that's 3 inches left the other side. So, Kay, you love the new colours. Yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of you that will. And I may learn to love them. I mean, when this set of in colours came out, Misty Moonlight, I wasn't a fan of Cinnamon Cider, didn't really like Bumblebee. I mean, Magenta definitely wasn't in my colour palette, but I've grown to love them. So hopefully that will happen. I want them now. I want them here to play with and create with. Right, this time I'm going to use this lovely label here. And just going to run that through my machine because that's the only bit of die cutting I need to do. So I love how it cuts out this beautiful stitched edge. I will be sad to see these go. Right, what have I got in the pot? I need another little raccoon. Here's one I did earlier. I need a bunny. You can see when I stamp things, I always stamp multiples. I need to do some stamping on here. Let's do that first. And some stamping on here. So another. Okay, yeah, I know. I will be sad. I will be sad. We've got 10 really good dies in here that are so usable, and I just love like the pretty edges. Like these are kind of double lined. They put like an embossed line in between. So usable. But of course we know that we've seen that new catalogue. Let's get rid of some of these sheets. And that there are plenty of new lovely things for us to play with. Right, let's line that up so we know it's square. Now I thought, being that I'm going to have this label in this direction, I'd use one of the greetings from in the Rainbow of Happiness. So I've pulled out this one. You make this world a better place. And I'm going to use my soft suede. Am I still zoomed in? I think I did come out a bit. We're okay. Yeah, lots of new goodies to play with. And I'm going to pop this one. I cannot see what I'm doing. That's quite straight. That'll be okay. Just up here on the top right of this label. And also in the Friends of the Forest stamps, you've got this cute little flower and mushrooms. I'm thinking, Vivi said to me the other day, so Vivi's my eldest granddaughter, she will be 4 in May. I cannot believe where that time has gone. But she said to me that they had mushrooms in their garden and that fairies were living underneath. So when Mummy cut the grass, she was a bit upset about the mushrooms, but she told me that the mushrooms will grow back and the fairies will come back as well. So bless her heart. We get a few funny mushrooms growing here. Is that pen, ink, adhesive? Let's get a wet wipe on it. I think it's just Tombow with dust stuck to it. bit better. So on this little border here, I've already coloured some in, but I've used, I haven't left long enough for it to dry, but I used the pens I was using earlier, but I also used the Misty Moonlight and then just Jade. I didn't use the Petal Pink, and then the Crumb Cake, just to colour in the flowers. And this is where you will need to use like the brush tip, because for doing like the petals, you kind of only need to touch really gently onto the cardstock, because it kind of seeps in quite well and fills the gaps. So I'm not going to colour all those in, because that would be rather boring for you to watch. And I also cut one out earlier, so they're really quick to colour. Really, that looks tricky cutting, but it isn't. It's kind of quick up and down cutting. And I've already done my raccoon. Let's cut out this rabbit, and then we can start to assemble. So don't just think of this set for kind of like young people. I mean, it's a great set for young people, but it's also good for older people as well. Just, you know, cute is good. Cute works for lots of different occasions. And I've done quite a lot with this set as well. I do love it. In fact, I've got another card to show you after. I mustn't forget. While I was creating these, I did something else and teamed it with the Cactus Cuties, so I will show you that quickly after. Right, I think we can start building up. So we're going to start by adding this pool party layer. MacBook's gone to sleep. Can you see how the Tombow kind of the edge dries up? So you either pull the edge off or kind of give it a flick like that and it will flow. I would be lost without Tombow. I think it's such an amazing adhesive. And I'm just layering that. Now, obviously, I wanted a larger gap at the top and bottom just to give a different look, because quite often with matting and layering, we just, you know, take off an eighth from each edge. And it looks very uniform. So I think it's quite good sometimes just to do things randomly. And then this little bit of DSP. When you're using your DSP like this, it goes such a long way. So I've just layered those up. You love Tombow as well, okay? Yeah, I would never be without it. Never be without it. I made all of Vivi's invites for her party. Right, this one's going to go down as well. So again, we've got like an uneven border, which is slightly out of my comfort zone, but I like the way that this looks on here. It draws the eye kind of more to the centre of the card. Yeah, I made Vivi's invites for her, which was, she's having a pastel princess party, bless her. And I made her invites and I used the rainbow dies. I haven't got one here actually. I've got photos though, I'll maybe put photos on. And I used Tombow to do all of that, but I found my Stampin' Seal was really good for adding big layers. When I added on, it was kind of a flat invite that slipped into a bag. So, and I wanted to add on the information about the party on the back. So it's really good for doing layers, but I just find for intricate things, the Tombow is just the best. It's just the best. Okay, next we're gonna add on, don't know what that is, but it's not coming off. We'll add on this label. And just pop that over to the right hand side. Alpha's having a scratch under the table. Then we'll start by building up our rainbow. So I'm going to start with a Just Jade. go down in size. Oh, I might need to do, let's swap around from what I originally planned. This is what you need to do when you cut these pieces of your rainbow. Have I got a really small, yeah, pool party? You'll see when I show you my original card, you know, once you cut one, you don't have to create cards using exactly the same sized piece for your rainbow. You can just use whatever you've got left, you know, mix the colours up. So let's start with the large one first. Careful placing. How low am I going? Oh, my greeting's over a bit too far, but we won't worry about that. It's going to have to go about there because I don't want to infringe on my greeting. And always look when you're laying this down that these two ends are kind of level, because it's easy to just stick it down and then realise that it's kind of twisted. We'll go with the next layer, which is going to be soft suede. And you can see I don't use a lot of glue. The Tombow is so strong. And then just add in each layer. You will get glue on your fingers at this point. I guess if you used the adhesive sheets, that would be much easier. But they're not something I use. Does anybody else use those? I don't know why. I do have some. And then finally, the pool party. It's hanging over that edge a little bit, but can't be helped. Should have stamped my greeting slightly over to the right a bit more. Kim, the card I just finished could be an anniversary card. Yeah, it could be, because we use the greeting, happiness is being with you. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. Sometimes I think cards, you know, greetings like that are just good to send randomly. You know, when you send a random card out. Don't know what that is on there, but I think it's in the cardstock itself. And now this cute little border, I'm going to add it down here. How long do I want it? Let's just chop it off about there. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals. So, yep, so don't forget to have a look at that retired list. There are still loads of products on there. You can kind of filter things as well. If you go onto my online shop, you can filter like only English stamp sets. You can filter in a price bracket. So if you put in between £5 and £10, there are loads of products that you can get for under £10. So, Kay, you use the adhesive sheets. Oh, how do you get on with them? Is that for doing like just really intricate things with? Right, I'm going to add some dimensionals behind these little creatures. Oops. Pop those in. Oh, I've just remembered. Here's one I did earlier and I stuck those on. I went and cut another one, didn't I? I'd forgotten I'd had that one sat to one side waiting. Let's pop this little bunny here. This little guy over here. They're just so fun. And then I need a couple of clouds. Of course, more dimensionals. If you're making projects for yourself, you don't have to raise everything up like me. I just like a bit of height I love my layers. So don't feel that when you're crafting you have to use all these layers like I do. Stick things flat if you prefer. There we go. Really sweet but simple. So, okay, you use your adhesive sheets for intricate detail dies. Yeah, which makes sense really. That's kind of what they're for, aren't they? But I think they would work well with these, with the rainbows. So I should give them a try, and then I wouldn't get Tombow all over my hands. So there we go. Bring in the other. Just thought they were really sweet. I adore this colour combo. Let's do this ink up. Absolutely love it. Have to think of what I'm going to replace the Just Jade with, because I think these are quite kind of masculine colours, but you know, would work for feminine things as well. If we replaced these with flowers, what have I got on my desk by me? Let's just say we replaced the bunny and the raccoon with flowers, took away the rainbow and the clouds, obviously that as well, but flowers and leaves. I think this would work nicely as, you know, a feminine card. So yeah, just think about how colours work. Might have a play with that. Just use that sketch and switch out these three things. Use the same colours, but add something kind of very floral and do a comparison. So, okay. What have I got to show you? Oh, the one I wanted to show you. So while I was creating these, I had this still on my desk that I've been faffing around with, just because it's really fun set to have. Kay, you don't have the rainbows. Oh, I just love it. It's so cute. So yeah, definitely consider it. So I thought, I mean, this may have been done before, but I've seen people do things with this die here, turning it into a flower or a sunflower. But I thought, what about turning it into a sun? Now, I don't know if this really works. Wasn't 100% sure about it. But I thought, so I did, what have we got on here? 3, 1, 2. So I cut 3 of these in Bumblebee, stamped that tree and coloured it in with my Stampin' Blends, which it is a little time consuming colouring in those leaves. But if you use the bullet tip and you just kind of press down on a leaf, it almost fills it with colour. So you don't have to be kind of too finicky with it. And if you look really closely at mine, it's not perfect. But yeah, I thought maybe that that cactus bit of greenery would work as a sun. What do you think? Does it just look a bit stupid? I kind of feel it does a bit, but another way of using something that isn't what it is. Right, I'm going to give you a quick flash of my 6 card in the post class that's coming. So just so you can see colour combination. So we're using the Boughs and Blossoms. We're using Blackberry Bliss, Fresh Freesia and Garden Green. That is over on my events website. What else have I put over there? Oh, I put the class on. I've got some kits left for my Cactus Cuties class. I've only got 4 sets of that because of the cardstock that I've got left for the cinnamon cider. What else? Creative Escape, that is over on my events website. I need to fill that soon. So that is an all-day event here in Gloucestershire at the Bowden Hall Hotel. It's 9 till 5 or 9:30 till 5. Full day of crafting, includes a goodie bag. You get product in there. You get all of your kits to create your projects. We do loads of stamping, loads of projects, cards and 3D things. We get a buffet lunch as well, so it's a really good day, a lovely venue, and that is £90. So you can head over to my website to have a look. Once I've got the new catalogue in my hands, I will be deciding which stamp set I'll be including. So thank you, Kay, for stopping by. Thank you for your lovely comments. Just have a quick scroll, see if there's anybody else. Glad you enjoy the cards. They're just fun, aren't they? They're fun. I think probably next time I'll be moving back to something floral, because we've had cactus for a little bit. And now we've had a bit of cute. Had cactus cuties, now cute. So we shall see. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. Still raining out there, still miserable. I've got that order to unpack and some other bits to do. I think I'm heading over to see the grandchildren at lunch. So I best bid you farewell. Not doing too bad for time. So please take care, everybody. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you for your lovely comments. And I'll be back with you all very soon. So bye for now.